Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You of course can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad, and welcome to Sunday's edition of the Doctor Who Daily. And today we're previewing the War of the Sontarans, if that's what today's Doctor Who chapter, Doctor Who Flux chapter is even called. I don't know the exact titles, I always forget them, that's why. I think we had another title announced the other day as well. We'll have to go through all of that, I think, on Tuesday, because, or maybe Wednesday, because I don't know exactly when I'm going to be able to see War of the Sontarans. And I've explained to you before, I live in Cyprus. The BBC is not available to me, although I did kind of watch last week's episode with buffering on the iPlayer, which I shouldn't have been doing. Shh, don't tell anyone. Anyway, I have now bought the whole series on Amazon Video, which means I think that drops Monday morning at midnight. So I think by midnight or 2 in the morning here in Cyprus, it will be available to me. So hopefully I can watch the War of the Sontarans Doctor Who Flux episode 2 tonight or tomorrow morning, and then on tomorrow's Doctor Who Daily we can have really, really do some open heart surgery and really dig into that episode. So yes, what do we know about War of the Sontarans? Well, nothing. This is the thing. We know nothing about Chibnall's Doctor Who until we see it. It's absolutely nuts. I feel sorry, not for me, because I don't need to make money out of this video, and of course I won't, because about 5 people are going to watch it. But I think what the clever thing is about Dr. Flux, about, doing this, I think is really going to help, because what Chibnall has done here, he has created a Doctor Who event series. And the last event series I can remember is Torchwood Children of Earth. Was that what it was called? Some of the best television, sci-fi television I've ever seen, by the way. Credit to RTD for that. So we haven't, I think that's, since then we haven't really had a Doctor Who event series. And I think having a Doctor Who event series and people not knowing that much about it means you get season premiere ratings every week. Now, that of course depends on if people enjoyed the last episode enough. But I think what Chibnall's going to do in every one of these episodes until we get to the finale is create more and more intrigue. So I think people enjoy mystery box. I know some people hate mystery box storytelling, but I actually think people enjoy it. I enjoy it. I like trying to put the puzzle pieces together. So I think it's great. So Doctor Who Flux is basically an event series. And as I say, that will hold the ratings to 3.5 million, to 4 million, to 5 million, those type of numbers. And people are going to tell you, we spoke about the Doctor Who numbers the other day, people are going to tell you they're shit numbers, they're lower than this, they're lower than that. It doesn't matter. Those kind of numbers in this era with Netflix, Amazon, this one, that one, the other, that's brilliant. And don't forget, Doctor Who made about 4 million. Now, that's not including BBC I streamers. BBC iPlayer viewers. Don't forget that. And that's going to bring it up to another 1 million, probably. A little bit less. So it's still good. These are solid numbers that people in this day and age, in 2021, are still watching Doctor Who, considering the divisive reaction to Chibnall's vision for the piece. So people are still interested in Doctor Who. There's no question about that. I watch Fandom Menace videos all the time, Neurotic, things like that, and Nerdrodic, sorry. And I hear that Doctor Who's dead. Doctor Who isn't dead. It's not. Doctor Who is alive and kicking. It's not as popular as it once was, but we can bring that popularity back when RTD comes back. But for now, these numbers are not that bad. And I think people are excited. I think we can say visually, Doctor Who looks like a beautiful, immersive experience as well now. It really, the kind of visuals, I saw the Dune, Denis Villeneuve's Dune movie recently. I think the visuals are not that far apart. I know maybe I'm going over the top there, but I do really think the production values of the Chibnall era have been brilliant. So what can we expect from the War of the Sontarans, or the Sontaran War, or whatever they're calling it? As I say, I have not been told anything, and I've asked so many people about this. There's very, very little to know. But we do know that Vinder and Yaz, Vinder's the new character played by Jacob Anderson. As we spoke about earlier this week, he replaced John Barrowman's Captain Jack Harkness. Obviously he's playing Vinder, his own character, and he and Yaz will meet up. So I think that the Doctor is with some other lady, some famous historical figure, I think, and they're going to go up against, they're going to be in the middle of this Sontaran war. So it's going to be interesting. So at the end of last week's episode, everything was going to hell. The flux was destroying everything. The Doctor tried the kind of Time Lord energy or whatever from the vortex basically, and even that didn't do anything to it. Or did it? I think it affected the flux. I'm just not sure how. I think the vortex energy and the flux could open up the multiverse, and I think that's what they're going to do here. But we'll have to wait and see. So the Doctor and Yaz will be split up in this episode. I don't know if they'll get back together by the end of the episode, but, you know, I'm very excited to see Yaz, Mandip Gill and Jacob Anderson have some screen time together. So that's going to be very, very interesting. So we do know that. Now, will there be a romance between Yaz and Vinder? I very much doubt it, but you never know where Chibnall's going with this. He doesn't seem to be a very romantic storyteller, does he? Which is interesting. Maybe he's a man who doesn't really believe in romance. Maybe he doesn't believe in heterosexual romance, because I don't see a lot of it from his pieces. And I'm sure some clever dick, some smart ass is going to put something in the comments, and please do, because I'm not right about everything. I just can't remember when he's written anything that romantic. So it's interesting what's happening, what's going to happen there, because, I mean, people will be disappointed. I know that Yaz and the Doctor shippers are everywhere, and, you know, they want them to see them together. There's been a complaint already that we haven't seen their adventures after they left Bradley Walsh and Tulsi Cole. They're kind of off-screen adventures. Of course, we could have some flashbacks to them. I very much doubt it. I think that was all done purposely. They've had their time. He's not going to give you anything else. That's kind of a shame. But anyway, that's what he's done. Now, some people believe originally Chibnall had too many companions, but it's not the size of the TARDIS team that matters. It's how you write them. And we all know that. And for Chibnall not to understand that says that's deeply concerning for his work, his line of work, and his future career. Well, we'll see what he does next. I'm sure he'll go off and do lots of great crime dramas, because I think that's him to his strength. But this event series is playing to Chibnall's strength. He likes, you know, setting up the chess pieces, putting the players out there, and then we're going to see how these players are going to maneuver themselves. There's actually a little theory from Doctor Who fans right now. This is an interesting one, that John Bishop's Dan is actually a secret villain. Now, this would be interesting. Now, I was joking with Doctor Who Poop, who I think's hilarious. He does lots of hilarious short videos on Doctor Who. Big Doctor Who fan, another person I really love in the fandom. And I said, well, he is a man after all, so he probably will end up being a villain. He goes, oh, don't. It makes sense, though, doesn't it? I mean, that is the mentality of the entertainment industry right now. So do I think that Dan will end up being a villain? I do think he's too good to be true, but he also could be someone who doesn't know who he really is. I mean, that would be interesting. I mean, could he be the Doctor? Could he be the next Doctor? That would be very, very interesting. I doubt it. I doubt he'll survive to be in the RTD era, but RTD may have already put him there in place to be part of the future. Again, I doubt it. We'll have to wait and see. So that's how Doctor Who Flux Episode 2, The War of the Sontarans, is going to set up. It's going to, obviously, maybe afterwards, when everything goes mad, Yaz finds herself with Vinder. Maybe Vinder saves Yaz. Maybe Vinder saves the Doctor and Yaz, and then the Doctor decides to go elsewhere on her own. And then Vinder and Yaz partner up. It's going to be interesting how it all sets up. The next episode, which, if I remember rightly, is it's not Once Upon a Time, Once Upon Time. That's right. So I got it wrong. I thought it was Once Upon a Time, and I was talking about it in that context in one of my videos earlier this week. So calling it Once Upon Time is a different scenario, isn't it? So that's going to be an interesting episode. And I kind of said to you earlier this week that I think it's a detour episode. Maybe flashbacks, some stuff we don't know about the Timeless Children arc as well would be very interesting, because you've got episode 3, Once Upon Time, and then you've got another 3 episodes left. So it's very interesting where this Doctor Who Flux event series takes us in terms of the Timeless Child story, in terms of where we're going with this Doctor. So And then I think when we get to the end of this series, then we'll know what Jodie's final 3 episodes, well, not necessarily will be, but what kind of stories they're going to be. Will that be a kind of 3-episode event series? I'd actually like that. I think really the Timeless, not the Timeless, the end of, what's it called? The end of Times Part 1 and 2. You know, the last, 2 episodes for David Tennant. I thought that was kind of a New Year's Day and Christmas Day event series, and that worked, and that was great. Have we got a Christmas special or a seasonal special this year on New Year's Day? I think we have as well. Is that classed as one of the 3 episodes? I don't have a clue. I think it is, I'm not sure. So anyway, I'd love to know in the comments where from around the world you'll be watching Doctor Who Flux and the War of the Sontarans. I'll be watching it probably tomorrow morning in the early hours when I should be asleep on Amazon Prime here in Cyprus. So please let me know in the comments where in the world, including the UK, because you are the host nation for Doctor Who, of course, which is very important. It was the country I was born in. So I want to hear from all of you. This has been the Doctor Who Daily. I'm Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Please like, share, comment. Please subscribe, most important of all. And please hit that subscribe button, and please hit that notification bell so you never miss this perfection. Until tomorrow, where I'll be hopefully reacting to Doctor Who Flux Episode 2, War of the Sontarans. Can't wait on tomorrow's Doctor Who Daily. Until then, goodbye.